Welcome to the Kingcast, the live podcast where we cover the latest Bethesda news. The Kingcast is every Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Central, right here in the King's Corner. The King's Corner is the place for all things Bethesda, so if you love Fallout, The Elder Scrolls, and even Starfield, and you're not subscribed yet to the KingFanMan channel, hit that subscribe button for the latest in Bethesda news, lore, live streams, podcasts, and more. Now here is your host of the Kingcast. He's not a fanboy, he is the KingFanMan. Welcome back to the King's Corner, the place for all things Bethesda. I am the KingFanMan, and this is the Kingcast, the live podcast where we cover the latest Bethesda news. Welcome, and thank you for spending just a little bit of your Saturday right here with me. Hey, Doll. Hey, Matt. Hey, Jambot. Good to see. We got 28 down in the chat already. Good to see y'all here today. We've got a lot to talk about. By the way, no Queen today. No co-host today. So it's just me and you. I'll be able to answer a lot more y'all's questions and comments. So please bring them on. Last week, we had Chipmunk on, Maltater on, and Old Man Liver on, and we talked about the Wasteland Jamboree. This is the Fallout fan celebration in West Virginia. It is May the 2nd and 3rd. If you are even thinking about going, you better get your tickets now because you're about out of time. And by the way, I do have a code if anyone is interested in getting 10% off their tickets. I have a code that I can give to you, so just let me know. Let me know down in the chat or after the show. You can put it down in the comments, and I will get that to you. But that is in West Virginia, May 2nd and 3rd, and yes, me and Queen will be there. And by the way, just for those that are going, I got y'all some little goodies. I got some new KingFanMan stickers and some new KingFanMan bottle caps, so I'll be giving those out to anybody that wants to come up and say hello at the Fallout fan celebration. Really looking forward to that. Thank you to my members and my Patreons. Thank y'all so much. Y'all do not know how much I appreciate your support. Y'all keep the lights on, as I say. And of course, me trying to do this full time, I really appreciate what y'all do for me. Today's show, we're going to be looking at the Bethesda Game Studios roadmap for the next couple of years and kind of laying out what's coming, what we know is coming, and when it's going to come. And of course, we'll talk about other things along with your questions and your comments, because this is a subscriber-driven podcast, of course. But please remember those super chats and super stickers. Walter is here to give you thank you if you want to float one of them up. And again, we appreciate all your support. So, Bethesda Game Studios. How is the future looking for Bethesda Game Studios? Matt says, I missed last week's Kingcast. I have tuned into the 12-hour... the auto race. Gotcha. Well, I'm glad you're here this week, Matt. What does the future look like for Bethesda Game Studios? And I made this comment with Joey Caps the other day, and I believe it. I believe there is no other time in history where we're about to get as much content as we're about to get as far as Bethesda Game Studios. And I know that, back in the day of Oblivion, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, and then Skyrim, that was some pretty good days. We were eating pretty good back then, if you're that old. If you're old like me. Sure, bribery, it's totally legal. Yes, of course it is. All hail God Howard. Of course. But, guys, it's about to get really good. Todd Howard said in a recent interview they have never been as busy as they are right now. And I believe it. What they're about to put out is going to be truly amazing. So let's just start current, and we're going to go right through and talk about the Bethesda Game Studios roadmap today. Chance, thank you so much. A $10 super chat. Man, I appreciate you so much. He says Starfield's cruise mode when not in autopilot? Can we turn and move our ship when moving at super speeds? I believe we can, but not 100% sure. Yes, I am almost 100% sure. I don't want to ever say 100% sure, but yes, I'm almost positive we absolutely can. Thank you so much for the super chat. I can't wait for free lanes and all that. In fact, we're about to talk about that first.
Was that me?
There's your Walter. Thank you so much for the super chat. You do not know how much those help us. I appreciate it so much. Chance says, "Oh no, I was born before Daggerfall." That's great. That's awesome. So let's talk about it. The Bethesda roadmap starts with Starfield. We know it's about to come April the 7th. We're about to get free lanes, Terran Armada, and of course the Trackers Alliance has already come out. And by the way, if you haven't done the Trackers Alliance in Starfield, wow, those are some fantastic quests. I did all but one of the quests on live stream. You can go watch if you want a little preview of what they are, but all of them were good. The last one and the Mantis 2 was my favorite, but boy, they were good. I also want to say about this Starfield stuff, I love the prices that they're giving us to Starfield. I believe this is showing us that Bethesda is actually listening to us. Bethesda got some pushback during the Fallout days for some of their prices and some of their I want money now kind of thing. But you look at what's coming in Starfield, free lanes is free, absolutely free. All of that is free, and that's a lot of content in free lanes. Then Terran Armada, I know it's not as big as Shattered Space. I know it's a smaller deal, but it's only $10 as compared to a $30 Shattered Space. And then the Trackers Alliance, which was 700 credits in the beginning for one quest, they've now added 5 more quests to it for absolutely free. So I love that. I hope that kind of pricing continues from Bethesda Game Studios. That is pretty incredible. Also, if you haven't heard, if you happen to be on Sony, the size of the download has now come out, what the size of the download is going to be. The game itself is going to be 123 gigabytes, which is about what it was for PC and Xbox. And then the DLCs, this is all of them. This is Shattered Space, and all of them are going to be 12.5 gigabytes as well. DeMarco, dude, what's going on? Hey, King, saw your DM. I'm hanging in. I appreciate you always. Can't stay, but hope you've been doing well. Thank you for stopping by. And yeah, I was just thinking about you, man. I hope your job's going well. Hope you're doing well. But thank you so much for stopping by. Let me read some of this chat before we move on. Chance says, sweet, to the answer to his question. Did anyone here know that Alan Nans will be the design director for the Elder Scrolls 6? Do you think it will be a change considering Alan has designed some of the best quests? I have heard that he is having a leadership role. I have mixed emotions because I know that Bethesda lost a guy because he was promised that job. At least that's what he said. But there are about 3 that are put in leadership roles for the Elder Scrolls 6, and Alan is definitely one of them. I think that bodes well for the Elder Scrolls 6. I think they're going to shoot their shot with the Elder Scrolls 6, and we'll talk about the Elder Scrolls coming up. But yeah, I think they're going all out to make it the best game that it can be, because not only them, but Xbox also knows that there are a lot of eyes looking at Bethesda right now. And I think that's another reason for these price reductions with Starfield. Bethesda's come under some heat with Fallout 76, with Starfield, with their pricing with Fallout Day. So, yeah, I think all eyes are on the Elder Scrolls 6. And not only does Bethesda need it to be a big game, but Microsoft needs it to be a big success as well. It's one of the biggest franchises inside of Microsoft now, so they definitely need it to be a hit. Microsoft was thinking that Starfield was going to be this huge success, and monetarily it was. It just didn't have the retention there for it. Now, one of the things when we're talking about a Bethesda roadmap going forward, we have to talk about creations. And I know that's a divisive subject with some, but listen, they are finally using creations the way we always wanted them to back when Creation Club started. We're talking about DLC-sized pieces of content, some of them for free, coming from Bethesda Game Studios themselves. This is what is so interesting. In fact, even Juicehead just recently reported on this, that Bethesda is actually funding many of these creators, and sometimes there are people at Bethesda actually helping them finish off the project. So Bethesda is actually recommending certain projects to certain creators, saying, hey, we have this idea here. We don't have time to do it, but y'all do it. Kingcast Creations is one. They're doing a really big one for Fallout 4. They're also doing a really big one for Starfield right now, which is partially funded by Bethesda Game Studios. So we're going to be getting canon DLCs from creators on all of Bethesda games going forward. So we have to understand that when we're looking at Bethesda's roadmap, that's part of what it is. Jeremy says Emil must have got demoted. He's still in a leadership role, but he's not one of the big three that we're talking about in Elder Scrolls, which, whatever you think of Emil. So, Todd Howard said, of course, there's more Starfield coming. We'll talk about that in the 2027 when we go around, because he said we're starting our third year. But they did say that what is coming next for Starfield has not been fully mapped out yet. They have a plan, but it's not down to this is what we're doing, because what they're doing is, hey, Jersey Dolphins, good to see you, man. It's been a while. They are going to watch how people react to Terran Armada and Free Lanes before they do the next content in Starfield. If Terran Armada and Free Lanes is really a success and they see numbers pick back up, then I think they're going to double down with a really big DLC going forward, and I think they already have that idea. If it's if that's how it's received, then I think you're going to get smaller updates and creations going forward. Now, that's just the way it is, because they're going to put their energy behind what has people most excited. And, of course, I think most people are excited for the Elder Scrolls and Fallout 5 and future games, but we still want our favorite games fed. If you're a Starfield fan, if you're a Fallout 76 fan, whatever game you're a fan of, you still want those games fed. And that's why Todd Howard says we are doing more right now than we've ever done, trying to juggle all these things while fully working on the Elder Scrolls 6. So you can watch these creations really take a front seat in these games. And again, they're going to be basically from Bethesda Game Studios. Ronald, welcome to the King's Crew. Yes, a new member. Yeah, that deserves a Walter for sure. Thank you so much for joining the King's Crew, my members. I love y'all.
Stop squeezing me, you moron.
Hey, every time they pay me, I'm going to squeeze you. So there you go. Jersey Dolphin says, in my opinion, Elder Scrolls 6 will be Todd's last game. Then he is retiring. I think it's either the Elder Scrolls 6 or Fallout 5. I think he may go to Fallout 5. I think he was really thinking about retiring during the Elder Scrolls 6, but something has rejuvenized him, and it may even have been the Fallout TV show, to really be honest. And I think he's looking ahead to Fallout 5 because he's really excited that they're going to have some TV tie-ins and stuff with the TV show. So I expect Fallout 5 for Todd to be working on Fallout 5 fully. Okay, let me get some of these chats out of the way before we move on off of Starfield. Jersey Dolphin says, I have to say I'm more happy with Starfield than I am with 76. I recently got back on Starfield, and they really have improved it, yes. And I can't wait for this new update. Y'all are going to love Free Lanes. It's great. The definitive and original says, Emil has done many good things, but Emil is quite stubborn, and his answers were not very well thought out. He gets beat up for his answers a lot. He's done some amazing things. He was the writer of The Dark Brotherhood from Oblivion, which is one of the best quest lines in any Bethesda game, and he wrote it all by himself. So, yeah, he's done some really good things. Chance says, I will say this, I don't hate Emil, but I really hope he doesn't take the leadership role after Todd. Oh, me too. 100%. Jack says, hey, Chat and King, the most kind person on the internet. Well, bless your heart. Thank you, Jack. I appreciate that. Maybe you're the most kind person on the internet. That was great. Matt says, outsourcing work. That's not a good sign. I'm inclined to ask, what are they trying to fail in spectacular fashion with? I believe the reason they're outsourcing on these creations is so that they can put more time on the newer games. We're going to get to it, but remember that BGS has been reorganized and restructured by Microsoft. So I know y'all already know I believe this, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it. They are not just working on the Elder Scrolls 6 right now. They're also on full development with Fallout 5 already, which is another reason, by the way, I say that Todd Howard's going to work on Fallout 5, because he already is. But because of that, because they have so many resources going to 2 brand new games, that's the reason that their most trusted creators like Kingcast, they're going to rely on them to do these little projects to keep the games fed. Kingcast is also doing one. We'll move on to the next thing that I know is coming. Kingcast is also working on a creation with Bethesda Game Studios, so there's a couple of people from Bethesda Game Studios working on this, for Fallout 4. It's called Fever Dreams. In fact, there's 2 or 3 creations that are coming for Fallout 4 very quickly. But Fever Dreams, this is neat, guys. It's going to be free. It's going to be absolutely free. And it has Nate and Nora, the original voice actors from the game, that are coming back to voice new lines for this huge creation done by Kingcast and Bethesda Game Studios. And again, they're not even going to charge for it, which is wild. Maybe that's a thank you for, or an I'm sorry for breaking the game twice, you know. But this is going. Fever Dreams is going to come out when the mod storage is increased in Fallout 4, which at the earliest is now going to be April. It's been delayed. So yeah. So the mod storage is going to be updated in Fallout 4 probably April or May, and then we're going to get those free creations, DLC size creations from Bethesda, which is amazing. So yeah, 55 here already. Thank y'all so much. Y'all hit that like button. I appreciate it so much. Lucy, that's so pretty funny. Emil is Catholic. I promise you he's not responsible for the strippers in Neon. I'm glad you said that about his Catholicism. Did you know he actually says that he wrote The Dark Brotherhood based on Catholic, however you say that, Catholic doctrine. So very interesting. He just kind of turned it around. So, we know Starfield's coming in April the 7th, Fallout 4. The creation is probably coming either April or May, so we're just going down the timeline here of the Bethesda Game Studios roadmap. Then we come to Fallout 3 Remastered. Fallout 3 Remastered, we might see it, and by the way, there's a very good chance that we're actually going to get to see it this summer. That it will either be shadow dropped in this coming June or this coming July. Y'all all know the McFarlane Toys things. I'm not going to get back on there, but we do know that toys with Fallout 3 Remastered are being shipped this July. So many think coming out of the Xbox Showcase in June, there's probably either going to be a shadow drop during that event or right after that event that gives us the Fallout 3 Remastered. So, but guys, just think of that. Just think of what we've looked at so far. Starfield getting 2 new DLCs and big creations. Fallout 4 getting a brand new free creation and mod increase where all these other creations are going to come into it. And then Fallout 3 Remastered only another month later. So April, May, and then June, month, we get something released from Bethesda Game Studios. That's pretty cool. I know it's not a new game, but that's pretty cool stuff right there. That's all I know about coming in 2026. But the good news is, I believe we could hear from the Elder Scrolls 6 as early as January of 2027. If you'll remember how they did Starfield, when Starfield was going to release in the fall of 2023, we first got a major look at Starfield in January at the Xbox first showcase that always happens either January, March, right around in there. So we could honestly see the Elder Scrolls 6 as early as January. Maybe they would wait until the June, but I think they would show us a little tease at least the first of the year and then give us a big game reveal in June of next year. Now, and by the way, I'm watching the chat. I'm about to get back and answer y'all's questions. But this is really cool, talking about the Elder Scrolls 6, and there's a lot of things to talk about. You say, King, why do you think it's coming next year still? There's a lot of reasons I think it's still coming next year. I could be wrong, but Todd Howard just recently in an interview, when asked, when's the Elder Scrolls coming, he said this, and I quote, well, there's no rush because our fans have a lot they can play right now. Y'all just let that slide over you for just a minute. There's no rush. Do you think Microsoft is saying, no rush, Todd, y'all take your time. 10 more years is fine. No rush. I think Todd knows exactly, number one, what we just talked about. There's going to be month right here in 2026 that we're going to get Bethesda content. We're going to get Starfield content. We're going to get Fallout 4 content. Then we're going to get Fallout 3 Remastered content. So we've got plenty to keep us engaged, not to mention Fallout 76, keep us engaged here in 2026. And then, number one, new Xbox is coming out next year, but there's just several reasons. That 2027 actually puts it a year after what they thought it was going to come out. So I really do believe we're going to get the Elder Scrolls 6 next year. One of the things I did want to mention this, and then I'll get to the chat. Remember, we've got Creation 3 engine that is being upgraded right now. They've almost got it done, but it's currently still being worked on. The good news is, and I know I talked to several of my subscribers about this privately in messages, when they heard that they were upgrading the engine again, they were like, oh no, now we're going to have to wait even longer for the Elder Scrolls 6. But I'm so glad the last two interviews that Todd gave, he actually told us that no, they never had to stop making the Elder Scrolls 6. They had a team doing the engine upgrade, and the team that was working on the game continued to work, so there was no delay like there was with the Creation 2 upgrade. Now, I do want y'all to be thinking as I go to the chat now, and y'all remind me if I forget this. I want to know why Bethesda wanted or needed an engine upgrade for the Elder Scrolls 6. And I think the answer will tell us what's going to be in the Elder Scrolls 6. And I think there's two reasons why they needed an engine upgrade. Okay, let me grab some of these chats. I appreciate y'all talking so much. Chance says, well, truthfully, he took a lot of notes from the Dark Brotherhood quest line from Nesmith, I believe. He didn't do it solo. He does do stuff I really like. Not going to say he's a complete, you know what, of course. He's okay. He just, some of his answers are bad. They're just bad. They're just tone deaf, really tone deaf. Dahl says reaching out to modders for content also makes it more likely they will come up with stories and quest lines that the fans want to play. Very, very true. I'm excited. I am so excited now for what they're doing with Creations. I really am. This is the first time they've actually been used the way they're supposed to be used. Plus, free mods are right there with them. We have Creations now on all their current games. We have them for console and for PC. I mean, it's a great time. And, of course, you've even got the free mods for console and PC as well. Let's see. My biggest issue is his arrogance. I think we're talking about Emil. However, I'm really sad Will Shin left. I am too. I liked Will. He was very talented. Will was the one that did most of Far Harbor. So, yeah, Will was great. As well as Nesmith, Ted, and some other guys. They were such great writers and lore masters. Yay, yay. Dova, what's going on? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. I wish regular players would be given a free tent in 76. I do too. However, I want y'all to think about this. They have to have some benefits for Fallout First. Fallout First is one of the main reasons that Fallout 76 continues to get free updates. They have had 66 free updates. Free. In Fallout 76. And one of the main reasons is people pay for Fallout First. So Fallout First has to have some good benefits. Obviously, the scrap box is a huge benefit, and the tent is a huge benefit. That's really the only benefits you get from Fallout First. So if they gave those tents to everybody, then Fallout First would have to get something else. But yeah, I would love to see everybody get a scrap kit and a tent. But really, are you going to pay for Fallout First just to get a private world? The worlds didn't go over the way they wanted them to go over. So again, really the only benefits, other than having your own private world, if you want to go into it, is the tent and the scrap box. Jack says, I'm sorry, but I just am impatient for Fallout 3. Maybe June? Can't get it out of my head. Yes. June at the earliest. July, probably. Dova says, I hope Fallout 3 gets mod support. I hate Oblivion didn't. That's something else I was getting to later on. They have got to find a way to get mods to these remasters. Have to. I will tell you this. I believe Skyrim's going to get a remaster. I believe eventually Fallout 4 is going to get a remaster. But they're not going to go anywhere if they don't have mod support. And I know Bethesda wants to be able to bring Creations to them as well. And I guarantee you they are working on it. I'm not saying it's possible. I'm not saying they're even going to get it done. But I am telling you they are working on trying to bring mods to the remaster. So that is good news. Guitar and Gaming, good to see you. Starfield, Fallout 3 remaster, Fallout New Vegas remaster, the Elder Scrolls 6, potential Fallout spinoff, Fallout 5, all upcoming. Yes. And we're going to talk about all those today. Chance says, I want more Bethesda games on Switch 2. Fallout 4 on there was well done. I did hear that the Starfield might be canceled on Switch 2. It just would not run right. And I don't think Bethesda wants to release another game on a Switch platform if it's not running right. So I hate to say that about Starfield. Maybe they'll get it to where it can, but right now, no. Chance says, I'm a 2026 believer for the Elder Scrolls 6. You believe this year? Oh, come on, come on, come on. Let's see. Jack says, imagine a Fallout 3 remaster, beautiful, updated, and mod support. Oh man, gonna try to get a Steam machine whenever. Chance goes on to say, there's no way they won't have Bethesda release Elder Scrolls 6 by the end of this year. I'm just happy we have more Starfield stuff. Give us a new game, Todd. I'm going to tell you this. I would be shocked to my core. And y'all know how much I follow it, how much I even talk to people at Bethesda. I would be shocked to my core if it comes out this year. Now, I'll be the first one in line to play it, but I will be shocked to my core if Elder Scrolls 6 comes out this year. Releasing Fallout 3 Remastered and Elder Scrolls 6 in the same year, they might not want to do that. Plus, Starfield is getting a lot of attention right now. I think they want to focus on that as well. I know that's all this first half of the year. Man, I would just be shocked if it did. Boy, I'd love it, though. I would absolutely love it. Jack says, if mod support for Fallout 3, we can iron out if they here or there would mess up. Yes, 100%. Todd McFarlane is doing many things ever since he quit making comic book expensive action figures. Hopefully he does custom Grognak or Unstoppables. That would be great. Yeah. That is the McFarlane toy. That's the Fallout 3 remastered. So evidently we're going to get a whole Fallout 3 remastered line. That is pretty cool. Hey, Dale, what's going on? Okay. Yes, we will get Skyrim again, Dova. How many times have I bought Skyrim? Oh, my word. Every time it comes out. Yep, Todd releases Skyrim again. You know there's going to be a Skyrim remastered. You know that. But they've got to get the mods to come to it. King Blink. King Blink, if you're not shocked. Oh, okay. That'd be absolutely amazing, yes. So, why do y'all think they wanted or needed a game engine update for the Elder Scrolls 6? I'm just going to let y'all think for a minute. Y'all have had time to think while I was going through the chat. I mean, this is strange, only having one game on the Creation 2 engine, especially how long it took them to do it. So why are we already going to the Creation 3 engine? Why are we upgrading it again already? If you remember, and I was trying to articulate this on my show with Joey Caps, it was before 2018. I believe it was 2015. I believe it was the year that Fallout 4 came out that the Games Award guy asked Todd Howard about the next Elder Scrolls game. And Todd said, I could tell you about the game, and you'd say, well, I don't even think you have the tech to do that. And then it was in 2018, after Fallout 76 came out, that Todd again said about the tech that they're working on it. It's not where they want it to be, but it's getting there. He said it's getting there. And now, just now, he did an interview with, oh goodness, it was a YouTuber. I can't remember his name right off the top of my head. But he said we weren't waiting on external tech. It was what was going on inside the studio. It was all our engine upgrade, he said. So the engine upgrade, and he keeps talking about getting things to render faster and put them up in front of the screen. So it means we're going to be going faster in the Elder Scrolls than even in Starfield, than in a Fallout game. How are we going to be going faster? The only thing we have in an Elder Scrolls game to date is a horse. And Elder Scrolls horses are notoriously slow. And so I read somebody there, dang nasty said it, ships make sense. Yes, ships makes absolute sense. It's been talked about, rumored, leaked since the very beginning. And again, this is another thing I'd be shocked by. I'd be shocked if there is not some kind of sailing system in the Elder Scrolls 6. And I'm leaning, guys, more and more to believing that this is not going to be a one district game, that Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be a 2-district game. It's going to be both Hammerfell and High Rock with the whole Iliac Bay in between. So if y'all remember years ago, there was a map that was leaked that said this is the next Elder Scrolls map, and it was Hammerfell and High Rock. Just for those that don't know much about Elder Scrolls lore, Hammerfell, of course, is the place of the Red Guards, and High Rock is the place of the Bretons, and they are right next to each other with that Iliac Bay in between. So, evidently, this is going to be a big deal in the Elder Scrolls 6, where you'll have to do it for questing, and of course, there will be more chances for adventure as well. But that's the only thing that I can think other than flying on a dragon that might be faster. We have flown on a dragon before. We did it in the Dragonborn DLC. But that's the only thing I can think of, guys, to need such an upgrade to the engine, to be able to render things in real time, not just trees and bushes and all that, but even little settlements and cities to come in view if we're on the water. So it's very interesting that we're going up to creation. Now, I did see somebody else talk about fewer loading screens. This is true, but as long as Bethesda uses the creation engine, there's going to be loading screens. If you want a Bethesda game to be like a Bethesda game, there are going to be loading screens. You're never going to get a totally seamless world. You're going to have indoor places that are going to have to be instanced outside of the real world. And there's a whole lot of reasons for that. But the main reason is, again, because every little item in a Bethesda game, you can move, you can put it here, put it there, and it stays wherever you put it, not where they put it within the game, so they don't reset. In other words, you can throw cheese in your house, you can throw 7,000 things of those cheese in your house, and they don't reset back to where they belong like they do in other games. They will still be there the whole game, right where you put them. So, Bo TV says maybe a better animal system. You know, I'm hoping going up to the Creation 3 engine, I cannot wait to see the upgrades we get for the Elder Scrolls 6. I'm really hoping we get, number one, we've got to get better combat. And I'm not talking about the bows and arrows. I think they do those great. I'm talking about melee combat. We've got to get better melee combat in the Elder Scrolls 6. Now, are we going to get something as... are we going to get something like Crimson Desert? No, I don't think so. I think Bethesda games are always going to have kind of basic melee combat, but they did add some things in Starfield that I really love. The Starfield combat in Starfield is great. For those of you that haven't played Starfield or didn't like Starfield and got away from it, the combat in Starfield is really, really good. I love the sliding in where you can slide behind cover in Starfield. Maybe some of those upgrades to the combat will be tied to perks. That could be where it's just really basic starting out, and then you get a dodge perk, or but they've got to R.I.P. the Stealth Archer. No, no, no. As long as there's a Bethesda game, Elder Scrolls game, you're going to be a Stealth Archer. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I believe we'll always want to be Stealth Archers in Bethesda games. But anyway, I can't wait to see the upgrades for the Elder Scrolls 6. So again, I mentioned they didn't have to stop making the game while the engine was being upgraded. Let's see. So again, I'm going to say, guys, I believe it's going to be fall of next year that this game is released. Either November or December, but I expect November of next year. Chance, I hope you're right and I'm wrong. Man, I would love for you to be right and for me to be wrong. That would be fantastic. All right, let me read some of these chats and then I'll get on to the next thing. Hey, Surfer, what's going on? I don't think it's ships. That's the problem. I think it's instancing. Interesting. At this point, I would be shocked if we don't get ships. Not on the floor. Not on the floor like I would be if it comes out in this year. I'm going to be on the floor if it comes out this year. But I know there's going to be something big in the Elder Scrolls 6, whether it's castle building and being your own king of your kingdom. Todd Howard loves those kind of things. There's going to be some, other than just the RPG itself, there's going to be some main feature that the game's built around. And if you look, all Bethesda games, and y'all know this, all Bethesda fans know this, all Bethesda games have kind of built on one another. And we got the settlement system in Fallout 4, not just the building system, but the settlement system. The building system was actually an upgrade from Hearthfire, from Skyrim. So I expect them to take that to another level because Fallout 4 settlement system was just almost great. I wish they would have gone into it a little bit more, refined it a little bit more, given you a little bit more control, made it more like Sim Settlements or something like that. I think that may be definitely where the Elder Scrolls 6 goes with a castle system or kingdom system. And if y'all remember, I've told y'all about this for years, that was actually on Todd Howard's notes for Skyrim. He wanted you to be able to build your own castle and then become the lord of the manor and recruit people to do different jobs within your castle and things. So that was on his notes for Skyrim. They just didn't have the technology to do it yet. And look at the next game being Fallout 4, what they did, the settlement system. So I think it's always been a thought there. Dahl says, when Todd mentioned going faster, I thought it was in reference to how the engine renders objects and scenery, and that led me to believe that the engine changes would increase efficiency and speed of render. 100%, but again, why does it have to render faster? Anytime it renders faster, it's going to be better. You don't have the lag, you don't have the fog out. I do believe this engine, you're going to be able to see a lot farther in it. 16 times the detail, the old jokes we get, but I do believe you're going to be able to see a lot further in the Elder Scrolls 6. But I keep going back. He keeps talking about the importance of that rendering speed, that there was actually a need for that upgrade. That's why I think you're going to be going faster in the Elder Scrolls 6 than we have in any other game, except Starfield. But again, Starfield didn't really have to render anything. Think about when you're flying in your ship, the only thing that comes into view is the outer planet, and there's really no detail there at all that has to render very quick. So that's why I said that it is looking like ships to me. Chances, like I said, loading distances better, ships, to Providence, and seamless travel. There you go, just like you said. The Red Guard originally come from another continent. Yes, they do. 100% do. Maybe I read that one. Dova said there's nothing wrong with loading screens. Most games have and have had them forever. Nowadays, they're pretty much instant anyways. Yeah, Bethesda has really cut down on the time of the loading screens. If you go back and play Starfield in the original Skyrim in the original form, do y'all remember how long the loading screens were for Skyrim? The loading screens were for Oblivion. I mean, 10 seconds and or more than 10 seconds. It was long, long, long loading screens. We got a super chat. Thank you, Ozzy. Ozzy said, whoever created the Starborn Power light chasing thing needs outed and fired. Oh, wow. Hold on. Let me give you a Walter.
Marriage is supposed to be forever, and this one's taking too damn long.
Amen. Amen, brother. Give me 5. I can't think of that one. The Starborn Power light chasing. I use the one that slows down time. I love that one. That one is amazing. Once I used that one time, that's all I wanted to use from then on. It is amazing. But I'm gonna have to look it up. Light chasing, okay? Is there another name for it, Ozzy? Is there an official name for it other than light chasing? Let me know, and I'm gonna look that up. Okay, let me finish the comments here. We'll move on. Chance says, I don't know, the melee combat in Starfield was not that great for the player character, at least. No, again, melee character, they've got to improve. I was talking about the combat in general in Starfield, not the melee combat. But Bethesda is just not good at melee combat. They've got to do something. In my opinion, they need to get some outside help. Y'all, pardon me, I'm losing my voice today. They've got to get some outside help. If you remember, id Software helped them with Fallout 4 get the weapon play better, and you can tell their weapon play has just gotten better and better. Starfield is fantastic weapon play. As far as melee goes, they are now part of Microsoft. We've got to have an upgrade. Now, I don't need something outrageously fancy, but let me at least dodge a hit. Let me at least, tuck and roll. Do something other than just one button. That it's awful. There's got to be a melee upgrade. I mean, it's going to be 2026, 2027 before it comes out. We've got to have a melee upgrade because it's the same that it was in Morrowind. The melee the melee combat is the same as it was in Morrowind to Skyrim. It's crazy. The combat in TES VI can't be bad. It has to be proportionally equal to or better than the improvements in Starfield's gunplay. Amen. 100%. 100%. Thank you, the definitive and original Oi. That's a long name. Dahl says, and more satisfying, weighty, impactful finishers would be nice addition to the melee combat. Yes. I do love, they did put that in Skyrim. Of course, you had the slow-mo finishers. I think that was great. And I think that's been a staple. See, all these staples, they just continue them over. Then we've, of course, got the slow-mos in Fallout. So I love the slow-mos, but yeah, we've got to get the melee combat better. Starfield is the best ever game from Bethesda Game Studios. After April the 7th. I don't disagree with you. It's a very good game. I have others that I like better. But Starfield is a fantastic game. There are parts of it that are absolutely great. MD says he never played Stealth Archer build. What? I do not believe you. Really? You've never played Stealth Archer in Elder Scrolls? There was a YouTube video I just watched the other day. It was so good. I wished I knew his name so I could give him a shout out here. But he did a video about how every build leads to Stealth Archer because the game is actually built to encourage you to be a stealth archer. And I'd never thought about that, but it's true. I mean, when you can knock off 3 enemies before you ever enter the room, of course you're going to do that as well. Okay, Ozzy got an update here. I was talking about the mini game you play to learn powers in the temples. Oh, okay, yes. I agree 1,000%. That's horrible. And can I just say the temples themselves are horrible. Something that they knew you were going to have to do over and over and over and over and over and over and over again has to be one of your best things in the game. Has to be. And what? Every temple looks exactly the same. There's one room, and there's that stupid light mini game that Ozzy's talking about. It's awful. Yeah, they dropped the ball on the temples 100%. 100% dropped the balls on that. MD says, better romance system for TES 6. Give me 5. How many times have I talked about this? How many times have I talked about that? We have to have more choices. Again, I go back to Starfield. I love that our companions are getting a bigger backstory. But if that takes the choice out of it, in Starfield, if you're a heterosexual male, you have 2 choices of love. If you're a heterosexual female, you have 1 choice of love. And he carries a kid around everywhere he goes. So, I mean, not good at all. Not good at all. Let's see. Where was I at? So thank you, MD. That's, yes, 100%. Chance says, I don't mind the occasional load screen, but something like Starfield was just too much. Should have cities and other stuff be open. Not everything, of course. Better NPCs. Yeah. I hope in the Elder Scrolls 6 they please go back to where you can talk to every NPC, that every NPC has a schedule, that they're not just people roaming around just for the sake of people roaming around. I would rather the streets be empty. In my opinion, I would rather the streets be empty than not have NPCs that you can talk to. That gets on my nerves in Starfield so bad. And I have missed quests in Starfield because I just get used to 17,000 people walking past me, and I don't look to see if they have a real name, because if they have a real name, they can talk. If they don't, they're just a citizen. Get rid of all them citizens. I don't need filler. I can role play in my head, Todd. Give me real NPCs. Real NPCs, 100%. Guitar and Gaming says, a lock-on system and more rewarding counterattacks. Yes, I like that. Yes, 100%. What studio do y'all think would be a good studio inside Microsoft to help them with their melee combat? Psycho says, I'm not here to romance. I'm there to conquer and explore. I like that, Psycho. I enjoy the romantic stuff a little bit. I loved that in Skyrim, you basically had a choice of anyone on the map. And I waited until almost the last of my playthrough to do it. You know, I wanted to make sure I didn't want to marry the wrong one. Since I got it right in life, I wanted to get it right in Skyrim as well. Dag Nasty said an improved version of Skyrim's combat would work. I'm really sitting here trying to think what Warhouse Studio. Yeah, they do great stuff, but they're not under Xbox. Who under Xbox? They're not under Xbox, are they? I don't think they are. But I'm trying to think of some of the ones that have already worked with Bethesda. Even Arcane Studio would help. Ninja Theory would be a good one. Absolutely. Yeah. Wouldn't you love to see a Warhorse Studio Elder Scrolls game? Oh, man. let's see. Let me finish here. Uh, Guitar and Gaming says it'd really be awesome to incorporate a rewarding counterattack system like Clear Obscure 33. We definitely need counterattack. You need counterattack. All we've got right now is block with a shield and hit with your sword or block with your sword. Yeah, counterattack, 100%. It needs some kind of dodge. Please let me dodge. Oh, goodness. Please let me jump behind cover if somebody's shooting a bow and arrow at me. Catholic Commissioner says, I'm just hyped for the Starfield new update. I am too. I'm playing. That's mainly what I'm playing right now is Starfield and Crimson Desert. I'm playing more Starfield than Crimson Desert, believe it or not, because I'm so hyped about the update. What if we can have a family tree and keep playing as new characters? You know, interesting that you say that. There is going to be some kind of Game Plus system. I think Starfield's Game Plus is great, one of the best ones I've seen. So I absolutely believe there will be some kind of, that would be neat, being able to play as a family member. That's a neat idea. Maybe you need to tell Bethesda that. That's a really cool idea. I want the Fallout 4 mod storage increase on Xbox, King. Yes, Dova. I believe that's coming next month, either next month or May. They keep delaying it is the only reason I say it's not April. It's supposed to be next month, but we will see. We will see. Phased time, yes. You know, I don't know what they're going to do as far as powers and stuff in the Elder Scrolls 6. I actually hope that they kind of back off of the powers a little bit, because we had powers in Starfield, we had powers in Skyrim. I'm hoping, and this is just me, y'all may be totally different. I want to be Joe Smo in Elder Scrolls 6. I don't want to be the chosen one. I want to be Joe Schmo. Now, Todd loves to write for the chosen one. That's what he loves. So, we'll see. Okay, I'll get to the rest of y'all's comments in just a minute, because I want to talk about what's coming next year. I'll just talk about this for just a minute, and then we'll get back, because I know y'all still want to talk about Elder Scrolls 6. So we're on to 2027. I believe, yes, we are getting the Elder Scrolls 6 next year. It kind of went under the radar, but did y'all hear that John Rush said that the 76th patch coming to Fallout 76 is going to be the biggest ever, and it will, he said, heads will explode. Now, if you just do the time, all you have to do is look at their time period of putting out patches. They do updates every 6 to 8 weeks. Normally, they try to stay to that 6-week time period. A free update every 6 weeks is amazing, but they do that. So if that's still the case, we're talking about fall of next year is when patch 76 will come to Fallout 76. And y'all know what I've been saying is coming. I thought it was going to be this year, but they put it off until, I think they put it off to patch 76 is exactly what they did. I believe it is going to be, we're going to go east. It's going to be a map expansion, and we're going to go to Washington, D.C. What are they doing to Fable? Anything new? Oh, Fable's going to be fantastic. Fable is coming out this autumn. It's going to be a brand new experience, and I don't know about y'all. I'm excited about Fable. Fable is one of the ones that I've got marked on my list that I'm definitely going to be playing. In fact, I did several videos on what I thought that Bethesda could learn from Fable, being able to talk to every NPC. That's a big one. That having a reputation system. We have to go back to some kind of karma system for the Elder Scrolls. They have to quit making us be a goody-goody playthrough. That's why I say they've got to go back to some kind of karma system to where you can either be good or evil, whichever way you want, but they've got to have a system that rewards both good and evil. It don't just punish one or the other. So, yeah, I think I think Fable is doing it in a very unique way. I love the fact that you can buy not only houses, but you can run them. You can rent rooms out. You can buy businesses and run the businesses. All of those, I think, would be great additions to the Elder Scrolls on down the line. In fact, I like that kind of thing better than sailing, I think. That's why I'm really excited for Fable. So, yes. Okay, I've got to finish y'all's comments before I continue. Yeah, not that different from Shouts in Skyrim, right? Really excited for the Fallout 4 creation with Nate and Nora. Yeah, I talked about that a little bit. That one is coming free. Can you believe it? Free. Fever Dreams is one of them. I believe that's the one that has Nate and Nora in it. If it's not, then there's two coming that are big. But yeah, I've seen a little bit of it. It's really, really cool. And I expect they're waiting to release it. I think it's already done. I believe they're waiting to release it when the mod storage increase hits Fallout 4. And you might be wondering, well, why don't we have it yet? I saw Dova saying, yes, please give us that. Did y'all know? Just think about what we've already gone over. Bethesda Game Studios is busier now than they've ever been in their company's history. Not only are they working on the Elder Scrolls VI, again, Fallout 5 is also in full development. There's two huge games that are in full development. They're still doing DLC for Starfield. They've got a live service game that they update every 6 weeks, and they are helping these creators by funding and helping on these creations, but they still got to do updates for Fallout 4. I mean, I can see why the Fallout 4 updates fell through the cracks. Now, again, I'm not excusing them. I think there's no excuse for what happened, but it's because they are so busy, guys. They're busy working on multiple games right now, which is amazing for us fans because, again, I just showed you how I believe we're going to be getting something April. We're getting something April is the Starfield deal, May for the Fallout 4 deal, and then June or July for the Fallout 3 remastered. That's amazing from one company. From one studio, we're getting all that in a matter of 3 months. That's pretty cool. And that's not to mention everything that's coming to Fallout 76. And while they're doing two major games, while they're developing two major games. So that's unreal. JD, welcome to the King's Crew. Thank you so much. Man, I love all the crowns I'm seeing today.
Who the hell cares?
I care. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that so much. Man, gosh, y'all are talking. I love to see y'all talking. Let's see. Oblivion did something great. Martin was the chosen one, and you were only helping him. Yes. I want to get back to something more like Oblivion for the Elder Scrolls. 100%. And more than one NPC knows where the key is. Fable sounds like fantasy GTA. Imagine TES VI comes this year and Fallout 5 next year. Oh, now that's a little ambitious. I'm going to tell y'all what I think. Let's get down to, I'm going to finish the game line and then I'll keep talking to y'all. But so Fallout 76, patch 76 is coming again next year, 2027. It's going to be another huge map expansion. Now, also remember, possibly Iron Galaxy Studios is working on Fallout New Vegas Remastered. If they are, they're doing something with it. They're either doing that or they're porting it. But if they are the ones doing the remaster, then you could look for a 2027 or 2028 release of Fallout New Vegas Remastered. The reason I lean toward them doing it is because I know Microsoft understands that the Fallout TV show is not going to last forever. So they want Fallout 3 Remastered, they want Fallout New Vegas Remastered, and they want, are y'all hearing me? And they want Fallout 5 out while the TV show is still on the air. So let's talk about Fallout 5. If Fallout 5 is in full development right now, when will it come? Well, a lot of that hinges on when The Elder Scrolls 6 comes out, because I believe they're going to give The Elder Scrolls 6 2 years. They're going to give it the year it comes out and a full year after it for DLC and attention. They're not going to release 2 games back to back, okay? Even if it was done, they would not do that way. So I believe The Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out next year, 2027. If that's the case, then I believe 2028 would be a year for DLC and focusing on The Elder Scrolls 6. So I believe the earliest we would see Fallout 5 would be 2029. But if you think about it, I mean, that's not that long at all, but that's the earliest we could see it would be 2029 for Fallout 5. I guess we need to talk about one other thing before we finish up my list. Somebody talked about the Fallout spinoff. I've really been heartbroken about this and haven't talked about it much, but this came out in the news last week or week before last. An insider said that an Xbox Studios was working on a Fallout game, and he says, I don't think it's going to see the light of day now. I believe it's been canceled. And we talked about the reason. This is one of the reasons that I know Fallout 5, by the way, is in full development. Todd Howard had a conversation with Phil Spencer before he left, and convinced him that to keep Fallout and the Elder Scrolls inside of Bethesda, to not let anybody else do it. Because remember what I'm talking about. Microsoft knows that the time to make money on Fallout is right now while the TV show's happening. They see what happens every year the TV show happens, what happens to all the games. So they want new Fallout in people's hands. The only way that Todd convinced Microsoft to cancel that Xbox Fallout game, and I believe it was Obsidian. I believe 100% it was Obsidian. But the reason that it was canceled is because Todd said, "Hey, we're gonna start making Fallout 5 right now if you'll let me hire up." In fact, that's what the insider said, that Todd would rather hire up, in other words, hire more people to make Fallout in-house than let it go somewhere else to another studio. Now, there is a possibility, guys, and this is a big possibility, and it's really cool, that Fallout 5 could be a collaboration between Bethesda Game Studios and a team at Obsidian, the team that actually was starting that spinoff. There is a real possibility that actually could happen now. That might have been part of the deal that Todd said, yeah, I will take them to help. So we're just going to have to wait and see. But I'm afraid the Fallout spinoff that I was so for sure was real, and it was, an insider came out and said it was, but has now been canceled, which just makes me sick to my stomach. I hate that. Anytime we can get more Fallout or more Elder Scrolls, I want it. So anyway, so Fallout 5, 2029 or 2030 is when I see it coming out. So according when we get Tim Kaine, yep. So there's a bunch. John Gonzalez, there's so many that came back to Obsidian, I believe, to work on a Fallout. And I think that Microsoft is going to let them work on a Fallout. But Todd wanted to be over it. So listen to everything we talked about today, guys. We've got 3 things coming in the next few months. Starfield, Fallout 4, bigger storage, and new creations. That free Fevered Dreams and Nate and Nora creation. Probably coming April or May to Fallout 4. Then we got Fallout 3 Remastered coming out in June or July. Then the Elder Scrolls 6. Of course, Fallout 76 is going to keep getting stuff every 6 weeks. Iron Galaxy Studios working on Fallout New Vegas. We could get that as early as next year. I think that's still a little bit early, probably 2028 for that. And then Fallout 5 2029 or 2030. And again, if they can get mod support for these remasters, you're going to start seeing Skyrim remastered, Fallout 4 remastered. But I don't see a reason for a Skyrim remaster or a Fallout 4 remaster if you can't mod it. I don't see a reason for it at all. Do y'all? I really don't. So there is the Bethesda Game Studios roadmap. It's looking pretty good to me. That's a lot of content in just a few years, especially for us that have been starved for content for a few years. Dahl says, for me, I want them to recapture that moment of awe as you step into a world that is peopled in depth and leaving the player hungry to get back into it. Yes, I want Bethesda's magic to come back. Yes, 100%. And I think that's what they're going to be doing with the Elder Scrolls 6. Matt says, wow, ambitious are they? So, sarcasm, what is going to fail in spectacular fashion? JD, I love that crown by your name. They could have done the You're the Chosen Ones back up in Starfield, depending on how you play the main mission. The member of Constellation that's the Chosen One changes. Yes. Guitar and gaming, either way you chop it up, fans will be eating very good the next 5 years. That's what I say. I mean, this is the roadmap that I just gave is the best that Bethesda Game Studios fans have ever eaten. They will shadow drop all games at once in a bundle. Yeah, I like that, Dova. Keep dreaming. I think Todd said that Fallout 5 will be influenced by the show. Yes, 100%. He said the things that happened in the show will have happened or will be happening in the Fallout 5. So 100%. Did Todd say that Fallout 5 would be his last game before retirement? No, he did not. Somebody earlier today said they thought Elder Scrolls 6 would be Todd's last game. And I had thought that before, but that was back when they were taking 10 years, per game. But again, I believe they're working on the Elder Scrolls 6 and Fallout 5 side by side. So Todd's going to be working on Fallout 5 as well. Todd's not that old, y'all. Todd is my age. Did y'all know that? I hate to say that, but yeah, Todd's right at my age. So, unless y'all want me to retire, quit talking about Todd's retirement. Matt says, let's hope BGS does not need a repeat of Fallout 76 for Fallout 5. That's something good to talk about there, though. I believe Fallout 5 will pretty much kill Fallout 76, and what I mean by that, I believe they will quit feeding Fallout 76, not immediately, but I believe it will taper off when Fallout 5 comes out. So I believe we're going to get great content in Fallout 76 until Fallout 5 comes out. When Fallout 5 comes out, they're going to taper off. And I do believe, guys, whether you like it or not, I believe they're going to do another live service Fallout game after Fallout 76. I believe it'll be a year or two after Fallout 5. It may be ZeniMax Online Studio doing it. They may change it all up and let ZeniMax do it. But there will be another multiplayer Fallout game come out. But that's very interesting. If Fallout 5 comes out in 2029, Fallout 76 would already be 11 years old at that point. So, how much longer is a live service game going to last like that over 11 years when you have a brand new Fallout out that is 2 generations and 2 engine upgrades up from that live service game? So, let's see. I think all signs are pointing to an exceptional Elder Scrolls 6. Yes, John, I believe they're going all out. Now, whether they hit it or not, but I believe they're going all out. And the good news, I want to leave y'all with this. They are really, really listening to the fans. Look at what they did with Starfield. Look at all the changes they made to Starfield by listening to the fans. Look at the prices of what's coming in Starfield. They've really, really listened to the fans. So they're listening to the fans about what they want in the next game as well. I think so, 100%. Dahl says, I still can't get my modded Fallout 4 to remain stable. I've pretty much written it off. Don't worry about it, Dahl, because they're about to update the game again. As soon as this new mod storage comes out, it's going to totally wreck it all again. So just wait until this next update comes up. Then hopefully it will. Let's see. About 58 then. I'm not 58. Quit it. I think Todd's 54. Somewhere like that. And I will be 54 in July. I hope I don't look 50. Do I look 58, y'all? I probably look older than 58. My lupus has made me look a lot older. I definitely have aged a lot the last few years because of lupus. Dova says, I don't want an MMO. I don't like ESO because it's an MMO. Whatever you have to say about 76, 76 just plays different than ESO does. You can play 76 more like a single player game, more like a real Fallout game. So, yeah, I agree with you. I don't want an MMO either. But they have such a good track record with the Elder Scrolls Online. And it's going to boil down to which has made them more money. Has the Elder Scrolls 6 made them more money with paid DLCs? Or has Fallout 76 made them more money with free updates and Fallout First and the Atomic Shop and all that? So I could see Todd Howard saying, we don't want another live service game inside of Bethesda Game Studios, though. That's how I could see ZeniMax or somebody else picking it up. Because every time he talks about 76, he says it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to keep that game going. But yeah, 76 is not an MMO. Not at all. Psycho says, you're 58. Okay, cool. Dova says, your dad just turned 56. Neither of you look that old. Thank you. Surfer says, you were just saying Fallout 5 could be as soon as 2029. What would be the point of all the upgrades that they are planning that have not even happened yet? Clarify what upgrades are you talking about, Surfer? Let's see, you said Fallout 5 could be as soon as 2029. What would be the point of all the upgrades they are planning that have not even happened yet? The upgrades in what? I'm sorry, I didn't follow. 76 is a large co-op IMO, yes, in my opinion. I want co-op in TES 6 and Fallout 4. I would love co-op in Starfield. I think Starfield would benefit the most from co-op, from multiplayer. I think it really, really upgrades to 76. Okay. The simple reason is they're making money on it. And they want it to stay active and to even increase in numbers until Fallout 5 gets here. That's still at the earliest 3 years from now, okay? 3 years is a long time. So they're going to keep upgrading it until they're done with it, in my opinion. But again, that 2029 is the earliest we would see Fallout 5. That's not when I say it's actually coming, but that's the earliest we could see it. So that at least gives Fallout 76 3 or 4 more years at the earliest. So yeah, they're going to keep upgrading it. They're going to keep doing the upgrades. They're going to keep trying to get the fidelity up. But there's a certain point where, again, when you have a game, when Fallout 5 comes out, if they don't do another engine upgrade, it's going to be 2 engines above the engine that Fallout 76 came out in. And 2 generations of consoles as well. Because, see, 76 is talking about doing a next-gen upgrade. They're literally 2 gens behind. They're 2 gens behind. So they're going to keep it as good as they can, as long as they can, because it's making them money. And that's the only reason I say that they will definitely do another Fallout multiplayer game. And they'll probably do another Elder Scrolls multiplayer game eventually. I do know the new game that ZeniMax Online Studio was working on and got canceled. It was actually in a brand new engine for ZeniMax. So they've already got a new engine ready to go there at ZeniMax. So I also look for the Elder Scrolls Online to kind of fade a little bit when the Elder Scrolls 6 comes out. So it would not surprise me at all if someone's already working on something to upgrade one or the other of those. If they want to continue to do a live service Elder Scrolls and a live service Fallout, they're going to have to do a major upgrade. And I don't think Fallout 76 has the bones to do that much of a major upgrade. They're going to have to do... See, it's a Frankenstein engine, and I don't think they can Frankenstein another engine in on that. They're going to have to do a new game. Now, Elder Scrolls Online's a little bit different because they release full DLCs in full new areas. So technically, they don't have to make a whole new game. They could just make a whole new area in a whole new engine. So, see, the Elder Scrolls Online don't have to upgrade like Fallout 76 does. Hope that all made sense. Co-op would be ideal for all Bethesda games. I agree. Hey, Pharaoh, what's going on? Instead of calling it Fallout 5, they need to call it New Vegas. I love it. Doll says, honestly, 76 with its shop will have made them more money overall, but market factors and people's consumption habits are changing again, and it is currently contracting. Yes. Yeah, they're going to have and it's according if Bethesda wants to do another live service game. Again, they may say it's too much taking care of all these games, because again, y'all, they are working right now. Bethesda Game Studios proper. I'm not even talking about Austin, the one doing 76. They are currently working on Fallout 4. They're doing a major update for Fallout 4, the new mod storage, new creations, DLC and stuff for Starfield, Elder Scrolls 6, and Fallout 5. That's 4 games they're working on at the same time. That's unreal. That is unreal. New Vegas 2. Hey, I like that one too. John says the Obsidian team who did melee combat for Avowed could help for Elder Scrolls 6. I wouldn't be bad with that at all. Just somebody needs to help, please. Load Save Repeat says, it's so hard to wait to see more about the Elder Scrolls 6. Hopefully we get to see that trailer that Jez said a while back that was circulating internally at Microsoft. Yeah, again, I believe if my timetable is right, the earliest we will get to see that trailer is January 2027. If they kind of hold to the same timetable they did with Starfield, and if it's coming out next fall like I think it is, then we possibly will see it either January or March at the first Xbox showing of the year. It will just be a tease, and then we will get the full in-depth dive in June. That's what they did with Starfield. Now, they may not think that they need to do both of those with the Elder Scrolls 6. So Todd may be saying, nope, I want to wait until June and just show it, and then 6 months later it's here. That's what they did with Fallout 4, if you remember. They showed it at E3, and then a few months later, it was here, and it was ready to go. Well, guys, we have gone an hour and a half. And it didn't even seem like it. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. Thank y'all so much for the super chats and the new members. Y'all are amazing. I love your support. I hope y'all enjoy the content that I put out. I try really hard. If there's any suggestions y'all have for what I can do, or subjects, or different things I can do with the show, anytime y'all have a constructive criticism, you can let me know. I would appreciate it, because I appreciate all y'all's feedback, and I just want to make the best content I can make for y'all, because I know that y'all could be somewhere else on a Saturday. So I appreciate y'all spending your time with me on this Saturday. I have enjoyed it. I appreciate every one of y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you to the ones that do support me monetarily. I know everybody can't, so thank y'all so much to the ones that do. I hope y'all have an amazing rest of your Saturday, and have a great rest of your weekend. God bless y'all, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.